If there's one thing every car guy hates, it's cleaning the garage. Do you want to take most of the time and hassle out of that job? Then call Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Agnes and her crew will have your garage, shop, basement, or even your porch looking great all the time. With unique patterns and designs, plus the ability to incorporate your logo or any artwork, your space will never have looked better. Installation is done in 1 day, guaranteed, and Zone Garage offers a 20-year warranty on the top coat. Their coatings are durable, anti-slipped, and impact resistant. Give them a call at 570-856-6067. That's 570-856-6067 for Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey.
Yo, Scott.
Hey.
I'm heading out, man. You want to ride?
No, I got my car, but I actually really need to go to the bathroom.
Oh, you know what? I was just in there. The line is like 10 people long.
You know, I think I'll just...
Dude, are you okay?
You wouldn't believe what I was just thinking. I am definitely buzzed.
Yeah.
I think I will take this, and I will take that ride home.
Smart man.
Did you see how that dog was looking at me?
You're blind. You're trying to escape from here, aren't you? I want to see how far you can make it before your head is chopped off. Good luck not getting killed.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies. Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's put a ride home.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Nashville Superspeedway, where tonight the stars and cars of the iRacing Silver Crown Cup are going to take to the high banks of the Nashville Superspeedway, Lebanon, Tennessee, the venue here for the Silver Crown Series this evening. My name is Chris Graham with the National Racing Network. It is a pleasure to have you tuned in with us here this evening. Production and cameras by Connor Baldwin tonight. Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate the assistance that you are providing us this evening. And we want to welcome all of you that are tuning in here as round number 5 already of the Silver Crown Cup here for the National Racing Network broadcast schedule. And qualifications already underway. Connor Babel going to be top of the speed charts. 29.37 seconds. Following along here with the 15 of Cristobal Valenzuela as he's working at lap number 2 of his qualification run. Mike McConville, Jeffrey Stanton, Brandon Buckberger, and Timothy Watson, your top 5. At least to this point in qualifications. Valenzuela going to complete lap number 2, 29.79 seconds on lap number 2 for Valenzuela. Let's pick up Nate Ranke completing lap number 1, 29.58 seconds, about 0.2 off the quick time of Connor Babel. See what Ranke's going to be able to do here down the back straightaway. Wes Shire jumps up to the 8th position, 29.56 on the lap time for the Homestead Coffee Roasters, number 13. Here's Ranke coming across the start-finish line to complete lap number 2. Going to be a little bit faster, but not by much, as he's going to move to 8th quick. New quick time to the top of the board, Andre Castro, 29.31 seconds. 29.31, the quick time for Andre Castro. Picking up the number 2 here at Thomas Lewandowski as Castro pulls it in. His qualification session is over. Lewandowski's first lap appears to be a did not score, is what it looks like. May have made some contact with one of those safer barriers that line the Nashville Superspeedway. Lewandowski going to come around to complete his qualifying run. He jumps up to 3rd quick on the speed charts. Lewandowski in at a very quick time here, within 1/10 of a second. 29.37, almost identical lap times to Connor Babel and Andre Castro. About 0.5 ahead of everybody else here in the field this evening. All 17 cars have completed their qualification runs, so all that's left now is to see those checkered flags and get ready to head to the grid. I want to remind everybody who's tuning in, we can now accept super chats. We also have memberships that are available. If you want to join the NRN team, head on over to the YouTube page and click the join button right there on the front. Couple of bucks a month. Shows a little bit of support for what we're doing here on the National Racing Network. These Silver Crown broadcasts, also the Sprint Car broadcasts on Tuesday nights, are entirely community supported, and that's a way for you to join in on the community and show your support of this one. Let's get you the starting grid for tonight's race. Andre Castro going to line up on the front row. Connor Babel will line up to his outside, 56 thousandths of a second back of your pole sitter. Thomas Lewandowski, Mike McConville will occupy row number 2. Jeffrey Stanton and Brandon Buckberger on row number 3. Row 4 is going to have Timothy Watson and Pablo Donoso. Nate Ranke, Nick Nebben on row number 5. Row 6, Wes Shire and Wayne Hutchison. Row number 7 going to be Nate Ranke. Row 7 will be Derek Love and Ryan Steele. Really surprised to see these two names farther back in the pack here this evening. James Watson, Cristobal Valenzuela will occupy row number 8, and all alone in row number 9 will be the number 16 of Tommy Toe. Just getting ready to see the field pull off here and on to the Nashville Superspeedway. Give you the rundown here in the point standings. Brandon Buckberger still your points leader, but it is a very tight battle at the head of the field. Buckberger, 4 weeks, 4 starts, 2 wins, 3 top 5s, putting up a total of 758 points. Only 6 markers back already is Ryan Steele. No wins, but 4 top 5s and an average finish of 3rd. So Steele going to be looking to pick up his first broadcast win of the season. Thomas Lewandowski, Pablo Donoso, and Manuel Paredes will be your top 5. Jeffrey Stanton, Derek Love, Kevin DeBello, Timothy Watson, Wes Shire, the top 10 in the overall Division I points standings. Nashville Superspeedway back on the schedule here. I guess first time since the track has been released. But as always, ladies and gentlemen, for the start of the Silver Crown Cup, this race is all yours. Lap number 1 in the books. Andre Castro out to a half-second lead over Thomas Lewandowski. He's going to have Brandon Buckberger right up on his tail tank. Call it about a car length and a half as they make their way off of turn 2 down the back straightaway. Absolutely fantastic strength of field here tonight as we slide just a little bit further back in the field. This is the battle 4th, 5th, and 6th. Mike McConville, Connor Babel, Jeffrey Stanton, Pablo Donoso all going to be in this one. 37-17 is the average I rating in this field. And all A licenses, with a couple of exceptions, 4.5 and above. A lot of talent in this field here tonight as we're going to go 70 laps. Caution laps will count. Drivers do not have a backup car available. Wouldn't be surprised to see some of these drivers start to head down pit road, however, should the caution flag come out here. Picking up your race leader, Andre Castro, who's not holding on to that half-second lead that he had. These cars punch just a massive hole in the air. Really allows the draft to come into play in a very big way here at Nashville. Really at all the big tracks. Basically a snowplow on the front of these things. That fight for 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th starting to heat up a little bit here as well as Brandon Buckberger, Mike McConville, Connor Babel, and Jeffrey Stanton. Babel running in the 5th position. That's the Tropicana Orange machine. Mike McConville. Oh, man, big hit into the outside wall for Thomas Lewandowski. Lewandowski absolutely got a piece of the outside wall with a little tank slapper off of turn number 4. That's going to shake up the field in a pretty big way here. Andre Castro opens the gap back up. Lewandowski going to start to fall back through the field. He's back to the 5th position. Brandon Buckberger holds 2nd. Jeffrey Stanton 3rd. Mike McConville down to the inside of Lewandowski through 3 and 4. And he's going to keep falling back here as Connor Babel's going to clear him to the inside as well. And you wonder if there may not be some handling issues with that race car. Now McConville going to look down to the inside. Excuse me, Connor Babel down to the inside of Mike McConville. Lewandowski's going to try to slide in there, but nice job by McConville to get tucked in, but may not be enough here. Babel all the way down to the inside. Lewandowski able to squeeze the position away from Mike McConville. McConville in that Texaco Haviland kind of throwback type color scheme there. Fastest lap of the race just set by Thomas Lewandowski. So obviously not too much damage there on the number 2. Nice save coming off the corner one way or the other. 29.672 seconds, the best lap of the race for Lewandowski. Everybody now running in right around the 29.9s, 30 flat, 30.1 second range here as we pick up this battle for a second between Brandon Buckberger and Jeffrey Stanton. Seeing the comment from Stormy on YouTube. Ooh, squirrely death cars. Yeah, there's a lot of that tonight. There's going to be more of that coming up tomorrow night with the Sprint Car Cup returning to iRacing. And then we're going to follow it up with a combination that will never happen in the real world, and we're going to showcase it for the TNT All-Star Race PM18s on the dirt at Bristol Motor Speedway. That one's going to be an absolute mess for sure. And that's going to run full heat races, consies, the whole smash on that one. So looking forward to a pretty good show there tomorrow night. This battle for second, still a good one. And actually a pretty decent battle just back behind it as well with Lewandowski and McConville. But everybody single filed out and playing nicely here. May have had some early issues here for James Watson, Tommy Toe, and Cristobal Valenzuela, as those cars are 4+ seconds back of 10th place running Pablo Donoso and way back of your race leader. In fact, over 8 seconds already the gap back here to Watson, Toe, and Valenzuela at the back of the pack. "12 laps in the books, just 58 laps remaining this next time by the start-finish line. The laps are going to tick off pretty quickly here, about 30 seconds a lap. One of the interesting things to keep an eye on here over the course of the race is, oh, big hit from Lewandowski. He's up into the outside retaining wall once again. That was a much bigger hit that time. We'll see if we can find a Hot Shoe Racewear instant replay on that one. Here it is, off of turn number 4. Just got it up into the outside wall, and that car really banged up now. Not the night that Thomas Lewandowski wanted to have. He's all the way back to the 9th position as everybody going to freight train down to his inside. All right, looks like we're having a little bit of a technical difficulty here. We're going to see what we can get worked out here, but we'll keep calling the race on our end here. Andre Castro, still your race leader over Jeffrey Stanton, Brandon Buckberger, Ryan Steele, Mike McConville, the top 5. Nate Ranke, Nick Nebb, and Connor Babel, Thomas Lewandowski, Timothy Watson in the top 10. Fast lap for Andre Castro, 30.1. Not anywhere close to the best laps of the race that they were setting, but easily the fastest amongst everybody else in the field here. Keeping our eye here at the front, Castro, Stanton, and Buckberger holding on to this spot as they're going to make their way off of turn number 2. Oh, your race leader's up into the outside wall. Andre Castro gets into the outside wall off of turn number 4. He's going to lose the top spot. He will have at least a little bit of damage on the right-hand side of that machine. Man, that was a pretty big hit into the outside wall. You see there all on the Hot Shoe Racewear instant replay. Side by side for the race lead. Buckberger down to the inside. He's going to bring Andre Castro with him. Is working lap number 20. They are still side by side all the way around here. And a note to producer Connor here, check the green reload button on the bottom part of that that's hidden down there. That should take care of that issue. Still side by side with Buckberger and Castro for the race lead. If the car's got some damage, it's not affecting them much. What a drive by Andre Castro, dumping it back down to the inside on the entry to corner number 3. Slides up the racetrack in front of Buckberger. Now going to chop off Stanton's momentum down the front straightaway. Castro trying to make that car as wide as he possibly can. And it's catching up everybody else. Ryan Steele, Nate Ranke, Mike McConville, Nick Nebben. They're all starting to catch back in here on your race leader. How about Ryan Steele? That number 5 machine just on the left-hand side of your picture. There you go. Good look at that number 5. Up 10 spots from the drop of the green flag this evening after having a little bit of an issue there in qualifications. This fight amongst the top 3 is absolutely fantastic. Seeing the comment here from Ryan Blackford, my Polish wife is going to absolutely annihilate me if I say that any way other than Lewandowski. But that's the kind of traditional Polish way to say it. I'll call him Lewandowski, though, for you guys. So I want to make sure I get the guy's name right here. And Stormy, thank you very much. We're glad that it's a better production than the Monaco Grand Prix. For all the money they've dumped into that, we'll take it. Working lap number 24 here at the Nashville Superspeedway, and this race has been absolutely fantastic here at the front of the field. Andre Castro still holding off Jeffrey Stanton, who's going to work to the high side. He did this 1 week ago, trying to run the high side in both the Silver Crowns and the Sprints. One of the things that actually, right as Andre Castro hit the wall, we were starting to mention this. The drivers were talking about the fact that both the iRacing baseline setup and the setup, there you see it, what a save, Jeffrey Stanton. The car gets loose on corner exit is what we're hearing. And you just saw a huge example of that. I have no idea how Jeffrey Stanton saved that race car. There's a little bit of it again out of Andre Castro on the exit of turn 2. The lighter this car gets in the fuel run, because of all the fuel burning off out of the back end, it just gets really squirrely on corner exit. Jeffrey Stanton going to be your race leader, but we're going to stay right here at the front of the field. I mean, there's some pretty good battles a little bit deeper, but we're staying right here at the front because Stanton holds on to the race lead over Brandon Buckberger as Stanton almost gets it up into the fence off of 4. Castro, Steele, Ranke, McConville, Nebben, Babel, everybody in a line down into turn number 1. Connor Babel just there at the back of the picture. He's not out of this race either, and we're not even to the halfway point yet. One of the things that may be playing with these drivers just a little bit here, mostly cloudy skies, 89.8 degrees in Fahrenheit, the temperature that they're contending with. A track temperature of 109 degrees. A car that's already skitterish and slidey, they're going to turn big time loose with the lack of grip that comes with a hot racetrack. Winds out of the east at about 11 miles an hour as well, so not getting a ton of help from the wind here that may try to push that car around as Castro almost got into the back end of Brandon Buckberger. Buckberger got to the inside of Jeffrey Stanton to claim the race lead. Here comes the 9 and Nate Ranke down to the inside. He wants a piece. He's getting in line behind Castro. Ryan Steele maybe thinking discretion the better part of valor here. He slides back just a little bit. Man, what a great fight here at the front of the field. As always, the iRacing Silver Crown Cup putting on a fantastic show here for the race fans. John Prather, whatever you're going to say it, in the comments. If Thomas was actually Polish, that would probably be right. But since he's a hick from Buffalo, they pronounce it like Blackford said. Oh, that's absolutely beautiful. There's a big Polish population up there in Buffalo. But all right, so Thomas Lewandowski running now in the 9th position after some contact with the wall. And we're dueling side by side, 3 rows deep for the top 6. Pace laps at 140 mile an hour. Top speeds achieved tonight over 178 miles an hour for Nick Nebben. We are starting to see a pretty substantial drop-off in lap times, though. Last lap for race leader Brandon Buchberger, 30.4. His best lap, 29.7. So almost a full second slower than where they were earlier in the race. Potentially some more problems here for Thomas Lewandowski. Falling back now to the 12th position, down 9 spots from the drop of the green flag, and 6.5 seconds in falling here as the race goes on. In fact, his last lap was 0.6 of a second slower than what we're seeing here at the head of the field. Castro still holds on to the race lead. Buchberger, Ranke, and McConville now going to be your top 4. Jeffrey Stanton slides back to the 5th position. He's going to be fighting with Connor Babel, Ryan Steele, and Nick Nebben. Everybody's single filed out here as we're going to put lap number 36 on the scoreboard. Cross flags are up halfway home here from the Nashville Superspeedway. Haven't done one of these since lap number 1. We'll let them get off at turn 2, but what do you think, race fans? Let's give you a shot to crank it up. Brandon Buchberger claiming the race lead once again from Andre Castro. Mike McConville, Nate Ranke, Jeffrey Stanton, your top 5 as we're down to 33 laps remaining here at Nashville. Got a pretty good set of races coming up here as well for the cars and stars of the Silver Crown Cup. Next week, we head to New Hampshire Motor Speedway, about as different as you could possibly get from Nashville. Oh, man. Oh, yeah, Jeffrey Stanton up into the outside retaining wall. He got a piece of it on corner exit. Car started to push just a little bit. He's going to fall back in the pack. Give you a look at the Hot Shoe Racewear instant replay here. Already a little bit of damage on the front, little push on exit, just a little kiss of the wall. tickling the strings, so to speak, here in Nashville. But man, the front end of that car absolutely jacked up here. Everybody single file at the front of the field after New Hampshire. Last week of July, we head to the Rockingham Motor Speedway, Rockingham, North Carolina, then Kentucky Speedway, Lucas Oil, Darlington, Five Flags, and we close the season out at Michigan International Speedway. 2 miles wide and really great chance for these Silver Crown cars to open things up. Let's kind of run you down through the field here. At the front, going to be Brandon Buckberger and Andre Castro still fighting for the race lead. Oh, they may have made some contact off of turn number 2. Very close racing. Buckberger now opens the gap up a little bit over 1/10 of a second. Nate Ranke runs third. Fourth belongs to Mike McConville. Ryan Steele runs in the 5th position. Oh, big save there for the 9 and Nate Ranke. Man, these cars are turning into a major league handful. If we get a caution, I would not be surprised to see every one of these cars down pit road. But so far, it's been clean and green. Just over 21 minutes in here. At least I think that number is right, based on what timing and scoring is telling me. 24 minutes into this 70-lap race here at the Nashville Superspeedway. Thank you very much, Producer Connor. Andre Castro, Mike McConville, Ryan Steele, Nick Nebben, the top 5. 6 through 10 going to be Nate Ranke, Jeffrey Stanton, Connor Babel, Wayne Hutchison, and Derek Love. Every car still on the lead lap here, and quite frankly, not all that really in danger of going a lap down either. Pass for the lead as Andre Castro looks to the inside of Brandon Buckberger, claims the top spot easily down the front straightaway. Mike McConville and Nick Nebben. Also Ryan Steele getting in on the party as well. Lewandowski's spotter has resorted to commenting on the battle for the lead because he's so bored. That's fantastic. Good to know that you've got a great team of people behind you like that. Yeah, John Prather's comment. I really genuinely think from watching this that the first ever Silver Crown champ from 2008 has to probably be the greatest driver ever. I could not imagine sitting in one of these things doing 180 miles an hour in a completely exposed top like that. I mean, just absolutely insane. Not like the Indy cars of the day, a modern Formula car and all. This is a tube frame chassis that if you wreck one of these things huge, it was going to be a very, very bad day. We're down to 24 laps remaining here, and Andre Castro holds on to the lead over Buckberger. Top 4 now nose to tail as they make their way into turn number 1. Everybody else getting single filed out here. It's about a half-second gap from Mike McConville back to 5th place running Nate Ranke. In fact, more than a half-second at this point. 6th place running Nick Nebben, 1 1/3 seconds back of your race leader. Big fight here for the 12th position. Show you a little bit of the action back in the pack. That's the 13 of Wes Shire, the 6 of Pablo Donoso down to the inside, the 17 of Timothy Watson, and that 2 machine of Thomas Lewandowski. That battle settling down as they get off of turn number 2. They'll get single file. That's kind of the third group here. Wayne Hutchison, Derek Love, going to be the second group of cars. That's 9th and 10th, but they're easily a second apart. They'll get a good look at the number 7 of Wayne Hutchison in the Dog Bear entry. Then your top 8 cars separated by about 2 2/3 seconds or so. But a fantastic fight for the race lead continues here. between Andre Castro and Brandon Buckberger. Going to be 20 laps remaining this time by. It's going to be interesting to see here. Hearing some of the drivers talk over the in-sim chat that basically don't think I'm trying to pass you. I'm hanging out here. Probably a little bit of tire conservation may be the thought here, and quite frankly, just trying to save the equipment to get to the end of this one. Because this fight to the end is going to be absolutely fantastic down here in the last handful of laps or so. Again, almost got it up into the outside safer barrier off the corner. Going to let Brandon Buckberger look to the inside. Ryan Steele going to try to look to the inside. I say that outside lane may be starting to come in here because throughout this race, if you've gotten into that high line, you've gotten freight trained. And that's just not the case. Now, Andre Castro has been the class of the field so far tonight. He made some contact with the wall, was able to recover, and drove right back to the front of the field. So maybe splitting hairs a little bit here, but Castro definitely making that outside lane at least show a little bit of speed. Oh, but man, big moment for Castro. He's still fighting it down the front straightaway. Absolutely intense racing here at the Nashville Superspeedway. Big save there for the three of Brandon Buckberger. That car loose on corner exit. Gonna let Ryan Steele catch in on him, but Steele hops down to the inside. That lets Nate Ranke take advantage up on the high side. One big mistake could wad up 6 contending race cars here at the front of the field. And they're still going to battle just inches from each other. Castro almost got a piece of the outside wall again. Now he's going to slide down to the inside. Buckberger taking a little bit of evasive action there as Castro almost made contact. Buckberger fighting right back. See if we can't get an onboard look here from, what do you think? Maybe the number 9 and Nate Ranke here down to the inside. These cars are just a crazy handful to drive right now. It'll be interesting to hear the amount of off-throttle time. Hey, look at that. Eskin, you shall receive. Listen to the throttle trace here on Nate Ranke's car. Way down off the throttle, but man, what a fantastic battle here. Trouble on the racetrack for Timothy Watson. Looks like we will stay green, however. Keep your eye on that number 17 up to the outside, fighting with Pablo Donoso. There it was. Loose on corner entry. Lewandowski again gets a piece of it. Watson spins it sideways. Unfortunately, has to take the tow. Castro and Buckberger going to continue their fight for the lead. Ranke wants a piece of the action. Starting to get down late in this race. If you're Ranke, Steele, McConville, it's really going to be time to go here. You can't really play around and let the leaders fight side by side. Somebody's going to have to make a pretty extreme move here. Castro and Buckberger continue to fight. Absolute cats and dogs here at the front of the field. Man, it's going to be incredible to watch here if they're going to be able to keep this up for the next 10 laps. 2 outstretched palms from the flag stand. 10 to go here at the Nashville Superspeedway. We've been running 150-mile-an-hour pace laps for more than a half hour now. Absolutely incredible racing here at the front. Castro tried to squeeze Buckberger down to the inside. Full send out of the number 3 in turns 1 and 2. Now he's going to slide up the racetrack just a little bit. That's going to force Castro to the outside. Oh, one going around. Mike McConville, I believe, having an issue here. What a save by Mike McConville. That car was spun around backwards. Holy cow. We'll try to find a replay here. Maybe to show it towards the end of this thing, but the racing at the front is just unreal. There's McConville. He's all the way down in the grass. What a save by the 10 car. And the race leaders are still side by side. No change there. Man, they're really banging doors now. Ryan Steele thought about a big dive down to the inside. The 9 and 8 Ranky was thinking about going way up to the outside. If they keep that up, there will be a caution flag late in this race here. Ranky going to dive down to the inside, try to get inside of Castro. Well, you got to wonder, are we seeing some tire fall off here from any of these drivers at the front? The lap times are a full second slower than what they were running in the first handful of laps. Absolutely incredible racing. But now Ranky has managed to clear Andre Castro. In fact, everybody clearing Andre Castro. It'll be a 5-lap shootout. Oh, big contact into the outside wall. There's the 5 of Ryan Steele. He goes up and over. He wrecked. So did Andre Castro. They're dropping like rocks, but we stay green. Good Lord. This is absolutely insane. Now the caution comes out. Huge wreck. Andre Castro's involved, as is the 12 of Connor Babel. You wonder if that wasn't from Andre Castro trying to get back onto the racetrack. Here's a replay looking at the 11 of Nick Nebben. Oh, man, he got into both Castro and Connor Babel. That's going to force Castro and Babel to both take the tow. Let's go on board here with Connor Babel. He sees the mess up ahead of him. Oh, just absolutely nowhere for Connor Babel to go. What a tough break there. So we'll go back to the live look here and reset the field. Brandon Buckberger will be your race leader at the restart. Nate Ranky will restart second. Third, Mike McConville. Fourth, Jeffrey Stanton. Wayne Hutchison up to the 5th position. Ryan Steele, Derek Love, Wes Shire, Thomas Lewandowski, and Pablo Donoso, the top 10. How is Thomas Lewandowski still running inside the top 10? That horse has been beaten like a rented mule tonight. And he's still finding a way to keep it inside the top 10. Take a look here. See if we can get a quick word with Mike McConville under the caution flag here. And Mike, that number 10 machine looks pretty darn good there up at the front. And now you got some of the best in the field here out of contention as well. You going to have anything here late in this one?
Oh, they got nothing for me. I've just been sitting back here riding the entire race. Time to go full 100 send now.
I like to hear the confidence. You got two really aggressive guys in Brandon Buckberger and Nate Ranke ahead of you. What's the thought process here? Is it go low, go high, go where they're not, or go through them?
It's pretty much going to be where they're not. Sometimes during this race, the low line is with the fastest, but then late in the run, Nate over here just decided to blow by all of us on the high side as we're battling. So I'm going to give it half a lap, see what sticks, and then go for it.
All right, Mike. Good luck the rest of the way here, bud. We're looking forward to watching the end of this one.
Thank you, sir.
There you go. There's Mike McConville as we saw Andre Castro grenade a motor there. No front end, winning the modified division here of the Silver Crown Series. But the ugly night continues for Andre Castro. His night will finish in the 15th position. Connor Babel, Timothy Watson going to be the other two cars out of the race. Where in the world did 68 laps go? So we're going to take a look here. Lights are out on the iRacing safety car. And it looks like we will have a green-white checkered finish here. The lap counter that I'm looking at showing 2.7 laps remaining. So, fairly certain we're going to have one attempt. Yes, one attempt at a green-white checkered finish. Let us know in the comments, who's it going to be? Who's your pick as they head down the back straightaway? Is it going to be Brandon Buckberger, your points leader, extending the points lead in a very big way on a strong strength of field? The 9 of Nate Ranke, could he have a shot here? Off at turn number 4. Green flag comes back in the air. What a restart for Brandon Buckberger. He absolutely caught him sleeping. The question is, did he get too good of a jump? They'll see the white flag next time by. And Nate Ranke is not gaining a ton of ground here in this one. Off of turn number 4, white flags in the air, 1 lap to go here at the Nashville Superspeedway. And a race that was a 6-car fight for about 66 laps is going to come down to Brandon Buckberger not making a mistake over the final mile or so through turns 3 and 4. Up to take the checkered flag, and Brandon Buckberger picks up the win here at the Nashville Superspeedway over Nate Ranke, Mike McConville, Jeffrey Stanton, and Wayne Hutchison. What a fantastic show we got here tonight out of the iRacing Silver Crown Cup, and quite frankly, we get that every week when you're tuning in here on the National Racing Network. Buckberger's going to come around to do the celebratory donuts here. Let's show you the final race results here. Brandon Buckberger picking up the win over the number 9 of Nate Ranke. The gap right around the half second there from first to second. Mike McConville going to come home in the 3rd position. 4th belongs to Jeffrey Stanton. 5th, Wayne Hutchison. 6th goes to Wes Shire. Derek Love in 7th. Nice run for Pablo Donoso in the 8th position. Thomas Lewandowski 9th. And Tommy Toe rounds out your top 10. James Watson, Cristobal Valenzuela, Ryan Steele, Nick Nebben, and Andre Castro back through the 15th position. Connor Babel and Timothy Watson were also DNFs this evening. And take a look and see who we have to chat with here. We talked with Mike McConville just a minute ago here, but see who else we're going to be able to get here. Let's talk to we'll kick things off with our runner-up, Mr. Nate Ranke. Nate, I tell you what, man, that was an absolutely intense race all the way around the Nashville Superspeedway here. What was it like driving in that tight pack of cars? I mean, everybody seemed like you guys were really pent up and on edge out there.
Yeah, it was nuts. Everybody was fast enough to get the side guy in front of them, but nobody could finish the path. The nature of the race here, and there's about 1.3 groups wide. I don't know how we didn't wreck. Everybody's doing a really good job. Racing hard, but it was fun.
Yeah, it was an absolutely fantastic show you guys put on here tonight, and you're coming out of here with a good points night and a really great finish in an absolutely epic battle. Was there an issue on the last restart, or was it just a matter of Brandon kind of skunked everybody there? It seemed like he was long gone and everybody else was just going to fall right in line.
No, he rolled the dope because mostly I played the dope pretty well. I totally missed it. He used his advantage for the
Well, Nate, thank you very much for joining us here this evening. We appreciate it. And before we let you go here, make sure you get all the big sponsor thank yous in.
I'm going to go put some Hellman's mail on a provolone with beef here in just a minute. And other than that, thank you guys on the broadcast with Man Up Fun Racing. Everybody, that was a wild race. We were trying to wreck that with a blast. We had a lot of fun.
Yes, that one was an absolutely fantastic show here tonight. So, Nate, thank you very much here. Let's pick up our 3rd place finisher, Mike McConville. And Mike, we talked to you on the last caution flag. You said you were going full send, and then, well, didn't happen.
The car was a lot tighter than I was expecting on the restart. The whole race car was loose. So I was just relaxing, biding my time. But tires cooled down, and it just plowed. I just couldn't do nothing. But glad to bring it home P3. Today was fun.
Yeah, we kind of asked the same question to Nate, but what's going through your head when you're watching the race leaders beating and banging off each other, and you're sitting back there in a decent position, but you know if they wad it up, you are absolutely going to plow into it.
I'm basically praying every lap, seeing, I think it was Castro and Buckberger just bounce off each other every lap. I'm like, if you guys wreck, please give me some amount of luck that I haven't had this season that I'll get by it.
Well, an absolutely fantastic run there inside the top 3 and picking up a well-deserved podium for that number 10 machine tonight. Before we let you go, let's get all the big sponsor thank yous in.
First of all, I just want to thank you guys for putting on an amazing show each week. This series does not get enough credit for what it is. Me personally, I think it's the best on the service, and we need more people to come out and race this car and realize this is some of the greatest racing on iRacing.
Yes, I would tend to agree with that. The Silver Crowns are week in and week out one of the best shows you'll see. Very rarely do you see someone run away and hide in these cars, and it's been a ton of fun to put the show on as well. So thank you very much, Mike. We appreciate the time, and let's bring our race winner in here, Brandon Buckberger. And Brandon, I'm going to start this by saying, how many times did you and Andre Castro make contact before somebody actually wrecked?
I don't remember. It was intense.
You guys were really beating each other up there at a couple of points. Seemed like you were sticking your inside lane, and Andre was really trying to squeeze you down as close as he could to the apron. It made for some really intense racing out there. What was it like in the cockpit?
It was tough. I think there's a couple times that knocked my left front on the apron and got me sideways in the corner. But I made a stagger change after qualifying. I normally don't qualify that well, and I qualified, I think, 5th or 6th. I was like, I might got a shot. And I made one quick stagger change, and it was almost too much. It's sad that I never touched the jacker the whole race. It was just pegged the whole time. If I didn't make that stagger change, I probably could have played with my jacker a little more and could have had a little bit better drive off of 4, but I think it was money in 1 and 2, and that's where I was getting the runs off people. And I mean, everyone was loose off of 4. It was real slick coming off 4. Like, there's a couple times I was behind a couple people. They got real sideways and almost wrecked, and I had to let up and get under them on the front stretch there. But yeah, I mean, I'm sweating after that one. I'll tell you that much.
You also had a fantastic points night here against a very strong field. 4 starts, you now have 5 starts. You have 3 wins, 4 top 5s, and in what should be a pretty decent points lead here after some trouble late in the race for Ryan Steele. Thomas Lewandowski did not have a real good night. This is one of those you're going to chalk up to as maybe it's a drop week for them, but it's certainly not for you.
No, not at all. I mean, first 2 weeks, I think I won Twin Ring and North Wilkesboro. I had a shot at Pocono a couple weeks ago, but I think I pushed Thomas to the win there, and then I was junk last week. I was not a really great track for me, but it looks like we got New Hampshire next week, Rockingham, Kentucky, Lucas Oil, and Darlington. I got a couple good tracks coming up. I don't think I'll be that good at Lucas Oil, but those bigger tracks I'm pretty good at, and Rockingham's kind of slick. I'm pretty good at these nice, these tracks where you got to feather it off. You just can't mat it. So, yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. I know Ryan's really good at Michigan and Darlington as well, and Kentucky. So it's going to become an interesting points race here.
That is for sure. There's a whole lot that's coming here over the course of the season, and a ton of variety, which I think is one of the hallmarks of the Silver Crown Series here. If you're going to stick to all ovals, you guys hit just about every style of oval there is.
Yeah. This season seems to be catered more towards bigger tracks. We only got a couple short tracks, but they're not all cookie cutters. It's, you got Kentucky, New Hampshire, Pocono, like Nashville. Even though it's a big speedway, it drives like a short track. To me, it reminds me a little bit of how you got to drive at North Wilkesboro. You got to feather it off because it's kind of real loose off of 4 too, and it's got a similar feeling, that just wider and bigger, and it's concrete. So it's like a North Wilkesboro, kind of like between that and Dover to me, it feels like.
Well put there. We'll say it that way. And before we let you go here, first we'll say congratulations on win number 3 this season. And who would you like to thank?
I got nobody, man. I was just me tonight. I was solo.
Well, there you go. There's your race winner, Brandon Buckberger, flying absolutely solo here this evening. And with that, we're going to wrap up our coverage here on the National Racing Network. And looking forward to some fantastic racing coming up here next week, where the Silver Crown cars are going to head off to... totally drawing a blank here. New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Tricky flat 1 mile oval. That place is going to be an absolute handful for these cars. But coming up before that, we've got a ton of racing here on the National Racing Network. Tomorrow night, it is a doubleheader. The sprint cars will be in action, followed by the TNT Carolina Simworks Series running their all-star event, taking the PM18s to the dirt at Bristol Motor Speedway. You do not want to miss that show coming up at 10 o'clock tomorrow evening. Sprint cars kicking action off at 9 o'clock in the East. Wednesday night, we may have a high side hustle show. We'll let you know what the plan's going to be for that one. Thursday night, it's a doubleheader of iRacing action, kicking things off with the Ezra IndyCar Series and following that up with the Indy Pro 2000 Official Series Championships. Friday night, it will be real world racing action from Linda Speedway, Jonestown, Pennsylvania. So a ton of stuff coming up here this week on the National Racing Network. You don't want to miss any of it. As a reminder, if you're watching us on YouTube, you can check in, hit the join button up there. A couple of bucks a month, get you a subscription and access to all the fun and frivolity that is the NRN Team Discord server, and some of the other cool perks as well. Get you some discounts on the merch store that we'll be launching at nationalracingnetwork.com in the next week or so. But with that, we will say good night. For producer Connor Baldwin, my name is Chris Graham. It's been a pleasure to have you with us here this evening. We will talk to you tomorrow night with the sprint cars and the PM18s. Have a good night, everybody.